Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of TWK Reviews. I'm your host, TWK of TWK Reviews. And yes, we're changing formats again because I have the attention span of a gnat, it seems. Nevertheless, we're taking a look at Paper Mario 64, but not any other version of the game. No. This version is on the Nintendo Wii, which I played using a GameCube controller. Because, why keep anything consistent around here? And I'm not looking at the Switch version because, oh boy, I have heard many of glitchy tales of that entry. Now, if I could stop stuttering like Porky Pig, we can actually get on with this review, starting with the gameplay. It starts off super simple, like even simpler than you might expect for a game of this nature. It isn't until near the end of the prologue where we actually get the ability to do action commands that actually require quick time event style gimmicks. And one of the best compliments I can pay towards this game is the fact that every tutorial is 100% skippable. That's right, of all the Nintendo games, this one, you can just skip through all the tutorials and just go, nope, I'm good, I don't need no tutorials. I wish that more Nintendo games like this, in fact, I feel like most games should be like this. In fact, there's one in particular that really gets my ire, but we might tackle that one another day. One thing that I like that this game does is give you the ability to do preemptive attacks on your enemies, whether it's using Mario or one of his many partners that you get throughout the journey. I also have to compliment this game on the partner ability system because each partner has their own ability that you can use in the overworld, and even at the end of the game, the developers never forgot that everyone has their own ability that you can use to solve puzzles. That is, except for Goombario, as he just lists off trivial information. Sorry, bud. I also like this game's stat system where you have health, you have flower points, which is this game's equivalent to mana, and you have badge points, which allows you to equip different badges to give you different abilities that you can use, some which only affect you in battle, some that affect you in the overworld. Whatever badges you equip can really make a difference between the difficulty in a battle, especially on Lava Island. Trust me, there are a couple badges you're going to want to equip against the boss here. Trust me. Also, when you're in Dry Outpost, be sure to get your fortune told because, oh boy, it'll give you some benefits in battles, and there is one time where it paid off 100%. It could just helped me in this one part and not any other part of the game, and I would have been 100% happy. Let's just roll that footage in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, let's get into the story of Paper Mario 64, which was released in 2001, which is now making me feel really old. Alright. So, here in Paper Mario, it's basically the same old story you get. Bowser comes along, he kidnaps Peach, and Mario's on a journey to save her by collecting a whole bunch of MacGuffins. But, at the very least, they do make it very tongue-in-cheek. They're like, oh, Princess Peach is kidnapped again. I guess you're gonna have to save her again, Mario. Whoop-de-doo. I will say, though, I do like how active Peach is in this story because without her help, Mario would be F-U-C-K-E-D fucked and 100% out of luck. One of the things I do really love about this game is how all these Mario locations have been RPGified, as well as making a whole bunch of enemies into NPCs. This really put some new needed life into the Mushroom Kingdom that we didn't really see at the time. Like, previously we got Mario RPG on the SNES, but I feel like this game did a better job at that. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, but to me, this game is the epitome of Mario RPG towns that take place within the Mushroom Kingdom. Narratively, this game is split up into chapters, not unlike what Yakuza games would do in the future. And it's mostly just a window dressing thing, doesn't affect anything mechanically, but it does add to the sort of storytelling atmosphere the game goes for, its aesthetic, if you will. Now, before we get on to the best parts of this game, we gotta get some ranting out of the way, like, first off, the Forever Forest, true to its name, can take just a bit too long. maybe it's just one screen too long, but I just felt like near the end I was like, come on, can we get this over with? Come on, can we? Come on! Next, we get to Flower Field. It's probably the worst part of the entire experience you'll have playing this game because it is nothing, and I mean nothing, but non-stop backtracking. I know Shy Guy's Toy Box kind of suffers from the same thing, but it definitely has a more forward momentum going for it than this one. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that you're constantly going back into this central hub area of Flower Fields, and then you're going to have to branch off from that to another direction, and sometimes it can be easy to not know exactly which way to go, so it's just a mixture of backtracking and trial and error, which, of course, just makes for the absolute most enjoyable gameplay experience. However, after all that nonsense you go through, it does have a pretty darn good boss fight, so if nothing else, it's got that going for it. Now this is just a personal gripe for me, but this mini-game, why? Because the footage you're about to see right before your own very eyes. Now for some of my personal favorite parts of this game, and oh boy, this is quite a longer list than my gripes. First off, we have the sewers. Now the fact that a game can make a sewer section actually good, that in and of itself is a miracle. But on top of that, it's not just good for a sewer section, it's just damn good period, because the sewers serve as the fast travel mechanics in this game. And on top of that, it's also an entirely explorable sub area that you can just spend over 2 to 3 hours just finding all the different nooks and crannies of. I also enjoy the KOOPA Bros dialogue, which is just all sorts of goofy 90s radness. Now, if you don't know, the KOOPA Bros are essentially a combination of the Ninja Turtles and Super Sentai, and anything that makes a Toku reference, gotta say, thumbs up from me. Now, while I may not be a fan of the Forever Forest, the area that comes immediately afterwards, Boo's Mansion, I am a huge fan of because instead of being focused on combat, it is 100% focused on solving puzzles, which is a really, really nice change of pace from the rest of the game. I also really enjoy the fact that this game allows you to actually commit sequence breaking. It's actually programmed into the game where characters have dialogue for you when you do it. And there's also one specific instance where if you try to sequence break, the game goes, nah, nope, not in this town, not now, not ever. And that area where that takes place is Shiver City, which is also my favorite city in the entire game because I just love snowy cities in video games. I may not like actually driving around in snowy areas in real life, but in the comfort of a video game, I love it. I also really enjoy the final boss fight with Bowser. In fact, this might be my favorite final boss fight of any of the Mario RPGs. Which is, thinking about it, yep, it is. Wow, fuck, goddamn. Because it doesn't really outstay its welcome like some of the other final bosses do. That seems to be a problem with some RPGs where they feel like a final boss has to take 2 to 3 hours, and has to feel like this big, huge, grandiose thing, and it has to be super difficult, and this and that, but this game's nah, it's just Mario, his partners, Bowser, that's all you need. That's all you really need. And yeah, he throws some roadblocks in your way, like you'll use a Star Rod and then you have to just smack away the Star Rod ability, and sometimes he'll heal himself for 30 health, several times, which honestly that did get a bit annoying after a while, but really it's nothing too bad. It's nothing you can't handle, as long as once again you equip the right badges. And finally, we have, of course, the epilogue. Who does not love a good old-fashioned epilogue to a video game? Now, I know some people would prefer, something like Thousand Year Door, where you go through all that stuff, and then afterwards you're still able to play the game, which, depending on the type of game that it is, I can definitely see how that could be enjoyable, but other times, I just like playing through a game story, seeing it finish, and then just being done with it, It really all depends on what type of game it is and how the developers go about it, because sometimes one can work better for it than the other.
This is KOOPA KOOT, and I'm tired of all this Mushroom Kingdom propaganda. That murderer Mario is a menace who killed my grandson, who was out getting groceries from the local bodega. How does the so-called fair Mushroom Kingdom respond? They throw that fat, ugly, greasy Italian bastard a parade. A parade for that simp Mario and his ugly simp mustache. I hope Mario enjoys what little alone time he gets with Peach, because we all know it's out of pity, and her real love is with Bowser. Anyone that says otherwise is a stooge working to cover up the truth. I will not be silenced, and my grandson will be avenged.
Okay, that was weird. Did not have KOOPA KOOT interfering anything on this list here, but I guess we're just going to have to roll with it anyways. That was my review of Paper Mario 64, and it, gotta say, I think after all these years, after over 20 years, got to clutch myself, feeling old. After over 20 years, it still holds up, I gotta say. And to add just a little heat to this review Sunday, which I know isn't a metaphor, makes sense, but come on, roll with me on this one. This is my favorite Mario game of all time. Yeah, I know. Controversial statement, but when it comes to overall Mario games, I do enjoy RPGs overall more than any other genre, so that gives it a leg up in that one, and I enjoy this more than Thousand Year Door because there's not as much backtracking, and I enjoy this more than Superstar Saga because this one is basically baked into my DNA as a video game player, way more than that one, and I also just enjoy the mechanics here more than I do of Superstar Saga. And more than anything else, I enjoy this game the same way I enjoy Batman Arkham Asylum, where it knows what it wants to be, and it doesn't really try to be anything more than that, and because of that fact, it excels in its goal. And that, everyone, is the video. Hope you all like, comment, subscribe, all that snazzy, jazzy goodness. And hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.